So here we have the OnePlus Nord. So the OnePlus Nord is OnePlus's newest mid-range, more affordable flagship phone. I mean, I don't think they call it flagship anymore, but this is something that they think is closer to their roots. So if you guys know, I've been very hard on OnePlus about their expensive phones. More importantly, because they keep increasing the price, not because they're expensive. I don't mind that part. It's just they started off as something and now they're a very different company. And I don't like things like that. I think that they kind of strayed from their origins, but they claim this is something that takes them right back. Now, the OnePlus Nord is actually, when you look at it, nothing very special. It's got a Snapdragon 765 chip. It's got 5G. It's got a pretty decent 1080p display on the front. It's got, it's very decent by all measures, but it's nothing that stands out, which, isn't really a bad thing in the mid-range segment, but also makes you wonder why this was so hyped, right? The hype for this, the marketing, the everything was insane. So it just doesn't make sense to me. All right, the box, very simple. You got Nord on the right. You got this new blue color on the inside, which I'm loving. OnePlus written right there. You got OnePlus written, the OnePlus Nord written right over here. And it's pretty much the same thing as most OnePlus boxes. So I'm just going to open this up. All right. And I did get the, what color is this called? Yeah, gray Onyx, so the black one. The black one in the mid-tier variant. So I would have gotten the cheapest one, but the reality is the cheapest one really isn't going to be on sale for another couple of weeks. I was like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. So this one has 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, which I think is a very good compromise. And, it's a good phone, but I don't know if it's an excellent phone. So right off the bat, I'm noticing the box is incredibly kind of damaged on the edges. It's just not looking good. It looks like it's been beaten up, and the fit and finish is just not feeling as good. Might just be Amazon who delivered it to me, but who knows? You never know. All right, so let's lift up the box. Comes off super easy, and here it is. It says "This Way Nord." All right, let's lift this out. All right, come on. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side for a second. Let's see what we get in the box. I am loving this blue color, by the way. I like it. Why I didn't get it on the phone is because I don't like bright colors too much. And my last OnePlus, my OnePlus 8 Pro, is a super bright color anyway. So I wanted a little bit of a change. So here we go. Got a pretty hefty little document packet, which I'm assuming has the case as well. And it does. So it's got a case. It's got Nord, a welcome letter. So wow, interesting. So let me read it out to you guys. So OnePlus has this trend of adding letters to their stuff, so their products. So let me read it out to you. So today, when a new phone hits the market, we often ask what are its specs. But then we would be asking the wrong question. Because the experience is smooth, if the camera is powerful and the quality is exceptional, if everything works just the way we expect, do specs really matter? Okay, I find this hilarious because this is exactly what Apple does and Android users hate, but now OnePlus is claiming to do the same thing, so that's a little bit funny to me. A tiny bit hypocritical. OnePlus Nord brings new focus and refinement to essentials of the modern smartphone. All right. As we rethink what goes into our phones, we have also been researching for ways to help you have a healthier relationship to your technology. And over time, we hope to hold Nord up as a source of positive change. In your hands is the first step in this new direction. From the entire team who poured their heart, energy, and sleepless nights into making this idea a reality, thank you for going on this journey with us. Stay true, Team Nord. Now, I'm very sorry, guys, about all these mistakes I made while reading. I'm looking at the camera, I'm making sure that focus is right and everything is in frame and trying to read at the same time. So I just make a bunch of mistakes. I'm very self-conscious about that, but I'm very sorry, guys. All right, so a picture of the team and all the people who work together on this, I'm assuming. A very nice touch. I think that OnePlus has always been kind of this company that will be very proud to show off their team and their progress and everything. And it's, it's nice to see. Then you got this clear TPU case thingy with a very weird design. Not going to use it. I don't like those cases anyways, but they give you one too, so that's nice. And you got wow, the SIM card tool is just kind of falling out. It should be in here, I'm assuming. There's a little space for it, but all right. Then you got the Nord stickers, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, the cardboard in here, everything, it's a little bit cheaper. It just feels cheaper. You do get the stickers though, which is nice. I'm liking the OnePlus trend of stickers too. Jumping on the Apple board here. Got the red cable club thing. Highest SAR value, the SAR values. All right, this is all boring paperwork stuff. Let me move on. Oh, I forgot to completely do this. All right, we got the charging cable, USB-A to USB-C, and then you got the warp charger. So the one thing is, this does come with the warp charger out of the box, but the reality is there is no other charge method on this either. You can only charge warp charge. There's no wireless charging and anything else, and OnePlus really doesn't support any other form of fast charging anyway. So it's nice they give this in the box. You're going to be using it, and that's it. I mean, the case is I mean, look at this. Look at the quality on the box. You know, it's showing its cost. You know, I can guarantee you when I'm going to unbox the iPhone SE in a couple of days, this will not be the experience. Just look at this, right? It's so shoddy. I don't like this at all. And it's not just this one piece. It's been the thing throughout this box. You know, the SIM card tool just flies out and everything. So it's clear this phone has cut corners, and I don't know. I'm not going to completely, you know, just write it off because the box is a little bit cheap, but it definitely is not a good start in my opinion. So let me just clear all this up for. So here we have the OnePlus Nord, and this feels really good in the hand. It's again going with the OnePlus philosophy of tall over wide. So, you know, it is, I'd say, just as wide as the OnePlus 8 Pro. It is, as you guys can see, it's just about as wide. But it's definitely a bit shorter, which, I mean, it's not a lot shorter, but it feels a little bit better. I don't know what to say, okay? The weight is definitely lower on the Nord, which makes sense. It is a plastic phone. All right, let's open it up. So you got the pill hole up here. You got the back. Oh, this looks fantastic. Oh my God. This is a kind of silvery, dark gray kind of thing. I love colors like this. It looks fantastic. You've got the quad camera setup here, which honestly just should have been a dual camera setup. I really am not a fan of it. Let's get rid of this stupid sticker. I hate that OnePlus puts these on their phone. All right, put that to the side. Let's boot it up. I'm loving the flat screen, and this feels a lot better in hand, a lot more comfortable in hand. Excuse my words. It feels a lot more comfortable in hand than the OnePlus 8 Pro does. It just really does, and you know, it's got a very similar layout. It's got the buttons, the alert slider over here, power button over here, and volume button over here. So at least they're standardizing that. They don't have different layouts for different phones. It's the same throughout. So let me power this on. There we go. Let's get to using this. So while I am, you know, talking about this, let me just give you guys a rundown on what the specs are. So this is a Snapdragon 765G phone. You know, my variant has 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. Oh, so no, it actually has 8 gigs of RAM. I'm sorry about that. I made a mistake just looking at the box. So I thought it had 6 gigs of RAM, but no, 8 gigs of RAM. It's got a pretty nice screen up top. It's got an AMOLED 1080p display with a pill hole cut out for 2 cameras up front, a flat display, 90 hertz refresh rate, and so far looking at it, it looks pretty good. So give me a second. I'm gonna set this all up and get back to you guys. All right, so I just set up my OnePlus Nord, and I've been messing around with it for a couple minutes. You know, heard some songs, watched a couple of videos, looked at the camera app and everything. And there's a few things that have become clear to me immediately. Number one, the flat display feels really good. The display there's nothing to complain about. It looks really good. For this price point, I think it's one of the best displays you're going to be able to get. It's a 6.44-inch display. It's got a 1080p resolution, a 20:9 aspect ratio, and the most important thing I think is it's got the 90 hertz refresh. That's good, right? At this price, it's really good. Even at a couple $100 higher, that's a pretty good screen to have. Another thing that I want to talk about is performance. So this definitely doesn't have the top-end Snapdragon 865 chips that its bigger brothers share, but that's by design. They want this to not have that expensive component, but they still have a 5G-enabled Snapdragon 765. It's called the 765G in particular. I don't know what that G is for, but it is 765G. Oh, I get it. 5G, 765G. All right, so that's what that is. So far, it doesn't feel too bad, but I did notice a little bit of a stutter here and there. Now, I think that might be totally just the phone getting set up and all the apps, downloading, updating, everything happening in the background. It just might be that. So I will comment on that a little bit later after I've used the phone for a couple of days, weeks. That's when I'll be able to tell. It's got a pretty big 4,115 milliamp hour battery. That's going to be impressive, especially with not having to power as powerful as a screen as their bigger brothers, but still having 4,100 plus milliamp hours. That's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. Now, moving on, let's talk about some of the things that aren't on the spec sheet. Starting off with the build quality. It looks fantastic, right? First glance, it's fantastic, but the one thing you do see right off the bat is it is fingerprinting up really bad. It's just going to, that's the thing with these glass backs nowadays. If you get the matte finish or some kind of other textured finish, they kind of don't show up as much, but this one is showing up really bad. The frame of the phone is plastic, but it is coated with metallic paint, a metallic finish, and honestly, people wouldn't be able to tell. If you showed this to them and asked them, is this a plastic phone or a metal phone, they would say metal every time. It's just the finish of it is that way. I wouldn't have been able to tell either, not going to lie. I know it because people have talked about it. That's the only reason I know. So it feels good. Now durability, that might be a different story, but it is a good looking finish. The front, the display has this pill hole cut out. And they try to hide it with their wallpapers. They try to, but it looks very sore and obvious. Everything is bright on the rest of the display, but then suddenly that one part on a wallpaper is dark. Yeah, it's a lot harder to hide this pill style notch compared to just a single hole or nothing at all. It's something that you have to deal with having this. So if you look at it on a white screen, it's a lot more noticeable. And I don't like it. I don't like the punch holes. I hate the pill even more. I would honestly take a notch over this any day. I'm not even kidding. I will take the OnePlus 16 notch over this any day. But, that's just me. Now, opening the app drawer, I have a few more things to show you. OnePlus prides themselves on no bloatware, but you open up the phone, and let me just show you some of the bloatware that's on here. You've got Amazon installed by default. You've got Facebook installed by default. You've got Instagram, Google Pay, all installed by default. You got Netflix installed by default. You got Prime Video installed by default. And that's just some that I'm noticing. I'm sure that there's going to be some more if I dig in and see some of the services that they've got running. That's ridiculous, man. I don't want bloatware on my phone. This is what OnePlus was known for, and it's so sad to see them stray from this. It's just really bad. So let me see if they at least let you uninstall Facebook. So yes, they do let you uninstall Facebook, which is good at least, but it shouldn't come installed with this in the first place, right? Let me download what I want to download. That's stupid to force it down my throat. Now, that's something I'm not even going to try to justify. That's absolutely blatant. It's horrible. It does not get a pass on that. That is horrible. OnePlus really is this is bad. It's all I'm going to say. Moving on, let's talk about the speaker. It gets plenty loud. It's loud enough, but it's not good quality. It's a single speaker. You can tell it's being strained, especially at high volumes. It sounds tinny. The audio, the highs and the lows, they just kind of mush together. It's fine. That's all I can say. The speaker is a very weak point on this phone. Right off the bat, I can tell. And that's the thing with these types of phones, right? This is a $400 phone in the community of $400. So you can't expect everything to be perfect. I'm not expecting everything to be perfect. it's just going to be interesting to see where the corners were cut. So with this phone, it is so far looking to be the speaker. It's looking to be some bloatware on the phone. And I did notice the camera as well. It seems decent, but there are definite corners cut on this camera as well. Just looking at macros and everything, and you know, it's got 4 cameras, right? And of the 4, 2 are unnecessary. There's really bad sensors. Like, there's no reason for them to exist. Like, it's pointless. They should not have had these in the first place. I just don't understand why OnePlus is going into this marketing game of having multiple sensors just to make the phone more marketable, where you could have used that money to make your wide angle better or your main camera better. It's just pointless. I do like, however, the front camera being 2 cameras, so it does have a wide angle and a normal angle. I really like this feature on the Pixel as well, so you guys can see. Look at the frame now and look when I pull out. Look at that. You can almost get my hair, like the top of my hair is visible on there, so that's fantastic. You know, it's got a huge field of vision. Let me just switch over one more time so you guys can see. You know, it's really good. I love it. The problem is when it's a punch hole display here, it feels unnecessary. It's like, did I really want this? Could you have just gone for a middle ground that's wider angled so that I don't have to deal with 2 cameras on the front, especially since it's a punch hole? With older phones, the only other phone I remember that has 2 cameras, for one being wide angle and one being a normal angle, was the Pixel 3. And it had a huge chin and bezel at the top, so that was fine. It didn't, you weren't interrupting your screen space for it. But you know, most other phones now, even the Samsung S10 Plus, which had 2 cameras, one of them was just a depth sensor. It wasn't even a wide angle. The main camera would have the 2 aperture, the 2 fields of vision. So this is just something I don't think is necessary. You can get this effect by having a single camera with a wider field of vision, but then just crop it in and have 2 options. That's what the Samsung S10 does. That's what most other phones do. That's what even the iPhone does now. So I'm happy it's there. I just wish that, you know, this wasn't a pill hole style, you know, punch hole style display, because it looks kind of weird. Let me just, you know, show you. Let me just open this. Look at that. You know, it looks weird. It doesn't look good to me. But enough ranting about this. So that's my very quick initial impression about the OnePlus Nord. Looks fantastic. Feels really good in hand. Does not feel $400. But I am seeing some of the weak links here, even before having had a lot of time with it. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, the reason I was very skeptical on buying this one, but the reason I did buy it is because this mid-range $300 to $400 to $500 market is getting really hot. You got some amazing entrants, the Pixel 4a, the iPhone SE, and I'm excited to try all of them. That's why I've already ordered an iPhone SE, and I'm going to be trying to get my hands on a Pixel 3a as soon as possible. It's not available where I am right now, so that's the only issue I'm having. But that being said, this is it for this one, guys. Let me know if you have any thoughts on the OnePlus Nord. Is this something you'd consider at this price point, or would you just fork up a little bit extra money and go up to the OnePlus 8? It's an interesting question because they're so closely within $100 to $100 all the variants. So what would you guys do? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. All the links and right here on the screen. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more OnePlus 8 Pro, Nord, and iPhone SE videos coming up in the very, very soon future. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.